Hey guys, this is Dr. Tim here with Optimized Wellness Center. I wanted to share with you something that I have been working on for a little while now, and today I made yet another effort, and that is about earthquake preparedness. And so today is the Great California Shakeout Day, and it's the anniversary of the Loma Prieta earthquake, where we had a variety of bridges and other issues here that came down, and it was really quite tragic here in the Bay Area. So I got a text message today reminding me about being prepared for earthquakes, and so I have taken heed, and I'm going to share with you some of the things that I have done. So I'm going to turn this around here, and we're going to work on this together. Sorry, give me just a second. And so I went to this website that I was directed to, and it is shakeout.org/California. And it provided a variety of information for me, including this document here, which gives you a variety of information about creating an emergency preparedness kit. And so I have gone through this document, and I'm going to share with you what exactly I have done. So it talks about bottled water, canned goods, can openers, contact lists, copies of important documents, dried foods, emergency cash, first aid kit, flashlights, medicines, radios, toiletries, and a whistle. We're going to go through all of that. Interestingly, the information in here does not give you an amount of time that you should be prepared for some kind of an event like this, where you may be removed from your home or your office, not able to go back home or to your office or to loved ones. The bridges may be down. There may be a variety of issues that could be really catastrophic. And so we have learned from Loma Prieta, Katrina, and even the most recent PG&E power outages, where these were deliberate power outages, but for several days on end, that we need to really be prepared for 5 days or a week's duration. And so I'm going to go through with you some of the things that I have done to try and get prepared for this. So I'm going to take this list here, and I'm going to show you what I have done. So I've laid it out here in my home on the floor here so that you can see all of the things that I have accumulated together to make sure that we have enough items to keep us safe and to provide us the basic necessities for a period of time. All the way in the back here, this yellow bag, this bright yellow bag, this is where everything fits into it. And I've chosen a bright yellow bag so that it's really apparent and obvious and bright and colorful. This bag resides, in fact, in a closet right here. And this closet is, in fact, a closet that is immediately adjacent to my front door. So it is, if I am exiting, this is the door that I'm going to be exiting from. And so I'm going to be able to grab this bag from the closet in here. So let's go through the items that I have here, because it's important to know exactly what all of these are. So this is in no particular order, but right here you're going to see a radio, and this is a radio / flashlight, and notably this one has a crank in the back, so even if batteries die, we can crank this up and we can get power and use the radio to get emergency information. There's actually even a little solar powered area here, and then there's a flashlight here as well. I could plug this in addition, but I doubt that I'll be needing that piece. So over here I have a poncho in case it's really wet out, raining, or there's other kind of soot coming down, or I need just an extra layer. This is a poncho, super packable and easy to utilize and good thing to have. This is a little bit of duct tape. This is actually from an office that was just next to me many years ago, and they were giving this away as just kind of an inexpensive item to give people. And so I've kept a hold of it, for all these years, and I'm putting it in my emergency preparedness bag. Everyone knows that duct tape is really an essential item to have. and can be really helpful for so many reasons. Another item that, by the way, is super essential and important at any time, these zip ties can be so helpful to pull things together, to hold them in place, to make sure that you're staying connected. These can be so helpful. So I've got a few different sizes and just a few of them in there. Adjacent to here, I've got some emergency contact information of family members and relatives. I have an indelible pen, a pencil, and a pen, and some notepads so that I can jot things down if I need to. These are post-it sticky notes, so I can make sure to apply them somewhere if I have to. Also, I've put the emergency contact information into a Ziploc bag, and the reason for that is if by chance it's wet, this sandwich bag may not be enough to be able to preserve that information so that we can reach out to someone who does not live in the immediate area but can provide us with some assistance from afar. Over here, I have some gloves. These are gloves in case I need to help someone else. I need to keep my hands clean. There are a variety of reasons why gloves can be super helpful. I have some medical tape here. I have some earplugs and a couple of supplements. These are, really essential kinds of items. These bells here are to be able to provide some sound in case I need to make some noise to alert people that I'm here. These were actually from a wedding, and they were on the table, and I have now repurposed them here. I also have a whistle, by the way, and I've been told that having this is really an important thing to keep on hand. I have a bottle opener obviously attached to it, so I can alert people to where I am. I have taken a little kit that's found often inside of hotels or airlines or things like that. And it's got a little stitch kit and some safety pins in here. And then also inside of this kit, there's even a little file and maybe a Q-tip or a little gauze kind of items like that. I particularly find that toothpicks are helpful for a variety of reasons. I've got one of those on hand here as well. I have a little multi-tool. This has a knife and some scissors and a variety of other stuff inside of here. Of course, that can be helpful. I've got another little miniaturized tool from a company that I used to work for many, many, many years ago. Some of you might even know me from back in those days. Again, I'm repurposing this. I have taken a 7-hour hand warmer, and I've put this inside of there just in case it's cold or I need, I'm feeling hypothermic for some reason. I've got a couple of mechanisms of lighting these candles that are stationed here. These are just standard tea lights, and I've got matches and a lighter just in case. I've made sure to have a handful of batteries, extra batteries of different sizes, AAA and AA, in case I need them or someone else needs them. I have gone through and actually put them inside of here, and I've tested them to confirm that they have the amount of energy that's necessary. I had some prior ones in this bag that I'm showing you all the contents of, and the batteries had gone dead, so it was a good thing that I checked them, because that would have just been dead weight and unnecessary for me to carry around, and probably very frustrating in addition to find out that they aren't working. I went and bought a new headlamp. This is a relatively inexpensive one. It has a little band in here. It has brand new batteries as well to make sure that I can apply the light as necessary. I do also have another little reflector and blinking light from the San Francisco Bay ferry system. Again, repurposing things to make sure that they are helpful and usable and available to me, depending upon what the conditions are and where I'm located. I purchased a handful of these life straws, and these life straws will kill or remove rather spores and bacteria, and so I have given some to family members and friends, and I'm putting one into my bag here as well. So it removes this bacteria, protozoa. It'll filter 264 gallons, and pretty simple, as you can see in this image here, pretty easy to use, just drawing up the water that way. I also have a glow stick light here, and in case I need light for a longer period of time and don't want to burn out the batteries, I do have one of these in there, and so that can provide some good sustained light for a long period of time. Pretty easy to use and pretty compact. I have a handful of other kinds of toiletry and basic medical kinds of items. They recommend having some personal sanitary items, and so I have a shaver. I have a little thing of soap, body cleaner. I have some hand sanitizer. I also have, in case, if I or someone else is feeling sick, I have some Theraflu and some vitamin C. I brought 2 little packets of toothpaste, and so each of these have just enough for a period of time to be able to use. And I have these mini toothbrushes, and so these have just these teeny little heads and a little kind of toothpick device at the end there as well. I'm not tied to any of these brands. In fact, I don't use them generally in my home, but they are very compact and suitable for this kind of a situation. I have a handful of little towels to be able to clean my hands or body parts or other items that are necessary to clean. I think I got some of these at races. These are from restaurants. So I'm repurposing these again to be able to have them available as necessary. This looks like it came from Lufthansa. I must have been flying and I took one of these towelettes and have kept it. In case, I'm in pain, I do have some extra strength Tylenol to be able to have some immediate pain relief. I also have 2 little items of some sunblock. This is an SPF 15, and this is an SPF 30. Now, this, I think, was repurposed from a triathlon that I had competed in, and so I'm putting this in the bag again as well. So you can see I'm really trying to repurpose a lot of these items that I've had lingering around and making sure that they are viable and usable. Chapstick, it can be so helpful to make sure if you're dehydrated or if you have chafing going on. Chapstick can be a really helpful and essential item. I also have some additional towelettes in case I need to clean some other individuals myself, body parts or other items. So I have another larger bag of these. These are so helpful and essential kinds of things to have available. I have a few little packs of, these are essentially Kleenex, but you can use these for so many different things to be able to help, whether that's making sure to be able to dry off items or to be able to create a fire or to pad something or even in first aid in dire situations. While I do have here a gauze sponge in case there's a larger wound that requires a 2-inch by 2-inch piece of gauze. But, if there's overflow, then maybe we need to have something like this. I have a handful of different size Band-Aids here of different nature, and I also have ones that go well over like knuckles, and so these ones can be helpful. They are adhesive, and of course they're all adhesive. They happen to be latex free, and they're very flexible and are really helpful. I also have some alcohol prep pads in case I need to clean a surface. That can be really important and helpful. And depending upon the size of the wound or what we're trying to do, I also have some butterfly closures as well as some other skin closure strips here that can be really helpful to make sure that we can seal up a wound if someone is injured. I want to make sure that we can help them out with these items. So moving on, I've got a water bottle in case, and this is one that I can just roll up here, and so I can make sure to store a small but some water and have it available to me in case it's necessary. We can't get water otherwise. This could be helpful. So over here, I have some other items. This is actually a little pouch where you can stick some kind of identification or other things in the front area. And then I have some money in the back here. They recommend having cash because if, in fact, we have a major emergency, oftentimes the power will go down and we won't be able to actually access ATMs, folks. Your Google Pay, your Apple Pay, they won't be functioning properly, so we need to have some cash available as well. This can just close up here, and then it's just a little elastic band that I can go around my arm or my leg or something or other, so I can keep this handy to me. So that's what I have this for. They recommend having some basic clothing items, and so I have put together just some real basic minimal essentials here. Over in the far area, I have a hat. This is just a super basic hat, and so this will help keep the sun out or warm or whatever might be necessary. I do have a handkerchief bandana in case I need a sling or another layer or to cover up something else or to hold some other items together. I do have a bandana. I have a synthetic t-shirt, and I chose synthetic t-shirts because they'll dry quickly in case I've gotten wet or I'm perspiring, and so this can be helpful. This is a jacket, and in fact this jacket is of a super lightweight material, and it helps to be able to act as a windbreaker, but also to shed some water. I have run marathons with this, in fact, and I've been able to, as I warmed up, I was able to take it off and hand it to some other friends or relatives that were on the sidelines, and they grabbed it. I am now repurposing this item into the go bag in case there's an emergency. The other thing that I have here is a pair of pants. Now these are, kind of standard like camping cargo pants. They have a million little pockets and cargo pockets here. But importantly also, the pants zip off and they make shorts in case it's too hot and I want just shorts. I'm able to do that. And so these will be super versatile to be able to have this kind of a pant available to me. Now, the interesting thing is we never know when these earthquakes or other kinds of events could happen. They could happen at any time of day. In fact, just recently, if you all are living in the Bay Area and listening to this, you may recognize that we had a series of earthquakes over the last week or so, and a number of them were very late at night. And so we may be running out at a very late hour and not with a lot of our stuff available to us. So again, this is why I've packed these items, but also they reside immediately beside the door that is over here. This is my exit, and then over here is the closet area as well. So these items are intended to be able to provide us the kinds of things that we need to be able to get out in a hurry and to be able to survive for a variety, several days. So in here, this is actually just a small plastic wine cup. It's malleable, and so I can drink liquids or store other things inside of here. I picked this up at a thrift store, and I thought that it would be, handy. Now, inside of here, obviously, I have something else, which is, this is a roll of toilet paper that's inside of here, and I think I must have picked this up at a hotel or something. It does not have the cardboard in the middle, and so it's just toilet paper that I've stuffed in here to protect this cup, but make sure that I have toilet paper as well. So I do have some food and some water. What I haven't shown you is I do have a large multi-gallon jug of water in the closet as well. But I do have a couple of small things of water also. And as I mentioned, I have the life straw over here to be able to access water as well that can be clean. So they recommend that you have some canned goods. I have some soup here, and this soup has a pull top lid, which is really helpful and makes it much more accessible to be able to get at the soup. Now, my multi-tool that I showed you before does have a can opener, but this is going to make it infinitely easier for me to be able to get at this. This happens to be a BPA can. I particularly appreciate that and find that that's helpful because I may want to reuse this as another container to heat up something or to be able to have some other warmer fluids inside of here as well. Now, as it relates to the canned goods, I don't know how many of you have furry friends, but I have a cat, and so I have made sure to have some canned food that I can pull the lid off as well, and I think my cat is going to be especially happy. Mr. Munchkin is going to really like the fact that I have brought some organic cat food for him as well, and because I'm sure he will be hungry too. So the other items that I have brought here that are in cans, I have some sardines. These are going to provide us some really good and healthy food that will sustain me for a long period of time. I've got 2 of these packed away in here. Now, I feel it's important to have some additional nutrients as well, and so I wanted to make sure, while I do have some additional tuna fish in a slender little easy pouch that I can take with me, this makes it super easy to be able to utilize this. Now, I have put this in a small to-go container here, and I'm packing a lot of these items inside of there. I've taken them out to show you them, but I could eat out of this quite easily, or I could stash some additional items in here, so that's what I'm using this for. Now, I've brought also some coconut oil. This is going to sustain me with some healthy fats that I can utilize as well. These are really small and easy packets that, kind of a one-serving sort of deal. And so those are helpful to have in addition. I have brought a few meal replacements. Again, I'm not tied to any of these brands, but each of these can be at least 1 meal's worth. As long as I have some fluids to add to it, I can get all of the nutrients I need for 1 meal, and so this can be helpful. So I also have brought, I need to make sure I'm staying healthy and I have strength, so I also have some greens that I can make sure to get into my body as well as another little packet here that I can get, into some water also. I was at another event recently, and this was one of the vendors, and they provided these honey sticks. So I'm putting one of these. Honey will last forever. So I am putting honey in here also. The other items that I have over here, let's see here. So I have some salt and pepper packs, and so that I can make sure that the foods stay flavorful, and I can even preserve things for longer periods of time with the salts. That's helpful. I have a couple of tea bags here. I am gluten-free, so I even brought some gluten-free soy sauce. Now you can see some other really basic items that I'm going to show you here as well. 2 little instant coffees in case I'm feeling like I want my morning coffee. This is going to be helpful. Again, really small and easy to pack away. I have a few little candies. I think the ginsens were from the 4th of July parade that we're in every year, and I give away literally tens of thousands of these, and so I think I had a few left over, and I put some in there. I've got a couple of sugar packets. And then I work a lot of races and athletic events, and I work as medical support as well as I work there as a vendor. And so sometimes I pick up these items when they are available at these events, and so I've grabbed some of these to be able to pack in here as well. You wouldn't want to survive on this kind of stuff by any means, but in an emergency situation, these items here will be really great to have because they're just dense with lots of glucose glucose and energy sources and can be helpful. Apparently, I flew Southwest Airlines. I picked up some peanuts. I've got a protein bar as well. So you get the gist of it. I've got some basic food for a few days. I've got some water. I've got a larger jug over in the closet as well. I've got that life straw, and then I have some other basic need items here to keep me safe and others safe, to provide light, to provide a source of information with the radio, and all these other essential items here, even some clothing items. And it all packs into that yellow bag there. I did bring a few extra Ziploc bags just in case I need some items to be able to, I need a way to be able to store some other items. So while I have you here, I wanted to show you, so in case I have a visitor at the home, I have packed up a second one of these, and this is a bag that came from the California Red Cross Preparedness here. All of the same items that we just talked about a moment ago, I haven't spread them out as much as I did in the other set over there, but all of these are the same items here, a variety of pens and notepads and some basic tea lights and leather lights, some lighters, zip ties, some glow sticks, flashlights, hand sanitizer, a little knife, a pouch to be able to put some items in, an emergency preparedness pack here, some hand wipes, some basic food items in here, even some basic toiletry items. I've got some other essential food and meal replacement. I've got some toilet paper, another one of these cups and a water bottle. I have some more water and cans of items here. And I have some clothing as well, and it all packs into here. So this is even for a second person, so it sits in the same closet, so we have to-go bags ready to get out of here. They recommend you have another one of these in your car, so I created another one that goes into this little bin here that sits in my car. So inside of here, I've got a little handy knife. I've got a blanket even. I've got a little bit of clothing. Here's some pants and a shirt. I have a water bottle. I've got a hat here. I have a few other bottles of water and liquids. I have a flashlight, a toothbrush, a little towel. I even have a starter kit in case I need to jumpstart the car or someone else's car. I've got a little bag to be able to carry some of these items in. Inside of here is all those food items that we had talked about before. And so you can see in here I have some more things from races, some tuna fish, and some other meal replacements and supplements and so forth. I even have in here some more gloves and some towels and dental floss and some towelettes, a hand warmer again as well. I've got a little bit of soap here. I've got some basic first aid kit in there as well. I even have another space blanket in case I need to stay warm. So this emergency blanket can help with that. And then I have some other basic toiletry items in here as well. So you can see these kinds of items don't necessarily take up a lot of space. They can pack in pretty tightly and pretty well into one of these kinds of things. But what I know is now I have all of the bare essential items that I'm going to need to be able to stay healthy and safe, warm, and survive for several days. Even with this little pack here, you can see, and it just sits right in there. And so that's going to sit in the trunk of my car. So, folks, again, this is Dr. Tim with Optimized Wellness Center, and I wanted to share with you about these things. And so I wanted to make sure to provide you all some information that would help you to be able to know how to survive for a few days in case there's an emergency or a disaster where you can't get back in your home or your office or go anywhere in particular. You're stranded or any number of things could occur. And so here are the basic items that are necessary. This has been validated by the state in terms of their recommendations for preparedness, and I want you all to take heed and to look at what you have available to you as well, and start considering to put together something like this for yourself, and start thinking about what are all those items, and start putting them into an area and consolidating them. Grab that list that I mentioned to you before, and then use that list to be able to make sure and cross-reference that you have all the items that are going to be necessary. So, folks, thanks for taking the time to listen to this. I hope this was helpful for you and your loved ones. Make sure that everyone has one of these available to you. You never know when an emergency may occur, but it's important to have these items available and ready. I have seen firsthand, as being your complimentary